Welcome all, and welcome Mr. Barry Peatling to the Barry Peatling Sports Show.
And welcome to you, Colin Sutcliffe, and everybody around the world, and my interstate viewers. It's a very nice day in Chelsea, 23 degrees.
Very pleasant indeed.
About time.
Yeah, about time, exactly. Before we get into the grand final, and
well, that was before the grand final in the early 60s up in Rapagna.
Peatling, Morgan Star and Rough Win.
Yep.
Faster and fitter.
We were a very fit side back in the day. So, I mean, I was probably as fit as... I was working on a farm, Colin, driving tractors and shearing sheep, and I was fit as 10 men.
Fit as a fiddle?
I was. Probably as fit as 13.
So you kicked a lazy 7 goals that day?
Lazy 7 goals, yeah. We kicked 19 goals 5 that day. That was the week before the grand final, 61.
So you smashed them? 19
goals 5, good kicker.
You smashed the powerhouse.
We had more kicks. If we kicked 13 goals out of 19.
Yeah, you got lazy 3 votes.
Oh, yeah.
I heard if they were able to give out more votes that day...
Could have got 7.
You could have got 7.
I think I had about 29 kicks and about 8 marks. That was one of our supporters used to take my stats every week.
Morris Marks had a good game.
Morris Marks humped Dimbula.
Did he? He wanted to show Dimbula a thing or two.
He was an Aboriginal.
Aboriginal.
He's still going. Remember I told you a couple of years ago he wasn't too well? He's alright.
Yeah, he's come good.
Yeah, very good football. He played in the league. Classy, and a good fella. If you're watching this video, Morris, hope you're going alright.
Alright, let's get into the game. Grand final, YCW versus Mornington down at the Frankston ground.
Perfect day, and you can ask me about the crowd.
Crowd?
Packed.
Packed?
Yep.
Oh, they came for
all of a sudden, well, I got there pretty early to get a car park. I remember last year I had to park 2 mile away.
Yeah.
So I got there really early doors, and when I got there, it wasn't a bad crowd, but the last half an hour,
they poured in.
I went to go and get a drink, and couldn't move.
Wow.
I reckon 8,000. Brilliant crowd.
Very good. Well, let's get into the first half then, Barry.
Look, it was before I would say anything about the game, it was one of the most disappointing exhibitions of football I've seen for 2 top sides in a competition for years.
Nerves.
It wasn't hurt. Look, if you're a professional, they're just dropping marks and couldn't dispose of ball both sides. But after the half time...
what was the score at half time, do you know?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute, but remember I told you about the big ruck duel about Anthony Eames and Michael Gay?
Ashley Eames, yeah.
Well, it was a very even first half between them two, but after half time we got on top. Actually, he played a top game.
Yeah.
He's a marvel.
Yep.
But he's too fat. He couldn't run out the game, that Michael Gay.
Too fat?
I think you said he was 10, 20 kilos, 10 kilos heavier than...
oh, right, so big fat...
I know, I was talking to Snake.
He's a big fat guy.
No, he's 20 kilos heavier than MC Eames. That's 4 stone, isn't it?
Yeah.
But and Eames just took over the game. But as I said, Gay was trying, but he couldn't nullify it. The half-time score were YCW 6-8 to Mornington 2-5, and I thought this was going to be a bit of a wipeout.
Wipeout? You predicted 10 goals?
I predicted David Bodley kick between 8 and 12 goals tonight.
Yeah.
He's had 2 possessions, done nothing. He dropped 4 marks. I don't know what was wrong. Something wrong. It wasn't with it.
All right.
That was one of the reasons they wasn't a long way in front.
Yep. Into the second half then, Barry.
In the second half, and I talked about David Bailey, but this Michael Williams from Mornington, he is going to be the next superstar of the competition, this fella.
Full forward or forward?
Mornington. Centre forward, ruck row, he takes a big mark. And little Tommy Simpson, number 13, is a typical Rovers roving pretty well most of the day. But there was the last couple.
So it was, according to the reports, that it looked like they were going to win it.
It was going to be. It looks at half. It was going to be a wipeout.
Yeah, and even the 3/4 time, they still had 25. They're 25 up or something like that.
But they wasn't. They both sides wasn't playing well. But in the last 10 minutes, the last 6 minutes, Mornington kicked 2 or 3 quick goals.
Yeah.
And the ball come around their wing, and I'll tell you, this fella, they were point behind. I beg your pardon. 5 points behind, and the other shot for goals went straight across the goal. Kicked the point.
Yeah.
It was a big chance of either drawing the game or winning the game, but they had a
Chris
chance.
Baker?
I forget his name now.
Chance to level the scores, but
yeah.
he missed the lot, it said. It went out in the full.
That's exactly what I just said, yeah. Missed the lot. If he would have kicked that goal, I think if he would have kicked, it would have been a draw. And would have been replay next week, and then they just held on to the last 2 or 3 minutes, but they should have won. The side that was down and out, they had a remarkable comeback like they did the week before, but they just couldn't. If they would have kicked straight in the last 5 minutes, they would have won it.
Yeah.
A couple of goals, running into goals, kicked off the ground and through the points.
So they had it. Done. Now, final score then, Barry.
Beg your pardon, the final score was YCW 8-15 to Mornington 8-9. Very low scoring game.
Yeah. So they won by 1 goal. Very tight game.
Well, that's a point. He actually said that, didn't he? Well, he must have been at the game for change.
He was at the game.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good.
Toe Punt was there too.
Simon McAvoy's given a full report on the leader.
Oh, riveting. Yeah. But the other fellow's Toe Punt, he writes for the other paper, the Woody Alley paper.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
He gives a bit of coverage too.
Bit of coverage. So, give us your goal kickers then, Barry.
The goal kickers for YCW were Benny Tallis kicked 3 lovely goals. He's very clever around goals, that fella. Anthony Barry 2, they're the main goal kickers. And for Mornington, Michael Williams kicked 3 goals.
Oh, right.
3 brilliant goals. He's going to be the next big star for Mornington next few years, I tell you now. Big fella. And Cole, I just mentioned the full forwards. The leading goal kicker.
Yeah.
2 possessions.
Disgrace.
Same as last week.
Yep. Best players.
Best players for Mornington. No, for YCW. I didn't mention Scotty McLeod, but Scotty McLeod, a former Chelsea player.
Yeah.
Played well all day. He's back in business. And Snake was telling me something, he might be coming back to Chelsea.
Oh yeah, well there's some news at Chelsea, but we'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that later. But, and the best players were Tallis, for YCW, Tallis, Eames, Anthony Barry, Scotty McLeod, Ricky Morris, little Rover number 20, he kicked a couple of nice goals too, and Kyle Hutchison. And for Mornington, Mike Williams, Chris Paxino, Smeaton, the captain coach, Tommy Simpson, little Rover, and W. Miller, who kicked a nice goal. Number 35 he was. Alright,
votes. 1 vote.
1 vote to Michael Williams, the Mornington all-rounder.
2 votes.
2 votes to Scotty McLeod, he probably had the most possessions on the ground.
And 3 votes.
3 votes to Ashley Eames, who is a superstar.
He won the medal.
He took 2 marks a day in the first quarter, within about 5 minutes.
Yep. He won the best on the ground medal.
Wow, he was at the game, see?
So he was at the game.
With his eyes open.
Had his eyes open. This is your mate, this is your rival, Simon McAvoy.
Yeah, he's not my rival.
He's your rival.
He's an empty head, I tell you.
He's your rival.
Well, he probably reads my paper. No, he wouldn't have got the video yet. But he'll be... he might have been watching my...
He goes to only the big events.
He might have been watching what I was writing down.
So comments on the game then, Barry.
Comments on the game, as I said before, I hadn't started this video today, it was probably the worst exhibition of grand final football I've seen for ever. You got no idea.
Not a good game.
I reckon the fellas doing the stats on both sides will be saying cross, everything. Some of the marks they were dropping and some of the delivery they were doing.
Just rubbish.
It was.
Disgrace.
But that's what final football do. People should step up in this when they... these are mature, highly paid professional players.
Yeah, exactly.
But this Daniel Bowley, the leading goal kicker of the competition, he was playing like a blind man. The blind man could play better than him.
That's crazy.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
Daniel, David Bowley, you better get your mind checked out. It was just it's embarrassing. A couple of marks he went for, straight got through.
Disgrace.
But he never changed. Anyway, that's football.
That's what happens in the big games.
The only good part of the game was probably the last quarter of an hour.
Yeah, that's right. So it opened up. That sort of thing.
Well, because Mornington
were charging,
and I think Mornington had more supporters there this week too. So that was it. Bad luck about that, Mr. Mornington people.
Just a couple more things about the grand final, a couple of irritating things.
Well, I cannot believe, I've said the last 4 weeks about the coverage of the of people running that football ground. They didn't have a scoreboard, didn't have a time clock. They've had a time clock the last 2 weeks. It doesn't work. Can you look? What is wrong with you people? You've got a big time clock there, it doesn't work. And they said, oh, something about there's no power.
Crazy.
Have they got any power in Frankston?
I don't know.
Better ring them up. And of course, getting it after the game, walking out the ground.
Couldn't get it.
Both big double gates are closed.
Crazy.
And he's got one little side gate, and people should have the people going out.
Crazy.
What is wrong with you, Frankston people? You're supposed to be in charge of finals football, and you've got no idea looking after people. It was just disgusting. People jumped and they got squashed. It's like a rush.
Wake up.
Of course, now the big news is...
Here we go. Stand by, let's move on to Chelsea news. Drum roll and big news.
Chelsea has announced appointment of the new coach in 2015 is Brent Guerra. Ex-Hawthorn, ex-Kilda, ex-Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
And he's bringing 4 players with him.
Wow. So this is going to change the whole culture of Chelsea. It will
change because when you're looking for players next year, Colin, you've got a well-known figure coach.
Yep.
It's a big...
People want to jump on board.
Big turn on.
And a premiership playing AFL winner.
2-7, wasn't it, or 2-11? Is he 2, wasn't he?
2-11. He might have been the Port Adelaide.
2-07 too.
Yeah, I think so.
And he's going to be playing coach. And of course we've got a...
Playing coach?
Yeah.
Wow.
35 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's not old for... I mean, how old is Goose? I think he's 39.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Well, and we got Luke Stokely coming back from Western Australia. We got Ryan Stewart coming back. We got we got about 3 or 4 recruits coming back who played. Who will be a big bonus.
Very big upside.
And one way after, we haven't got I don't think Snake was telling me whether we got a big tall ruckman. I think he might be bringing one of them too, but they won't have any trouble recruiting people now.
No, that's good stuff. Good news.
When
good news for your viewers.
They find out about we've got a superstar footballer coach, which has got me a bit excited too.
Yeah, very good. He's excited, like Big Kev. Now, AFL Grand Final. Who's going to win? My prediction is Sydney win by between 3 and 8 goals. Wow. Okay. 3 and 8 goals. I hope they both lose, if that can happen. I've always hated Hawthorn. Yeah. And they were very lucky to win against Port Adelaide, wasn't it? Yeah. The Sydney, I mean Franklin, no one's going to stop him. He's on a roll there. Yeah. Of course, Tippett just tipped him with about 4 or 5 goals. No, they've got too many stars, Colin. Too many stars. Like that, what's his name, that one dead fella? Hannelbury. Hannelbury, they've got Kennedy and they've got... look, they've got everything. They've got superstars on every line. Superstars on every line. They'll win me by... What's the betting? What's the latest up I'm not sure. I think Sydney's favourite slightly. Well, I wouldn't think they'd be... As I said last week, they'd probably be $1.90 each, I reckon. I might have something on to win by over 21.5. A little bit of Johnny Cash on that. That'll be about $2.50. So that's something on there. Very good. Okay, any Cheerios, Barry? Yeah, there's always Cheerios here. P8 and Sandy and Carlos, he got the message, Jerry, and he's very happy about the little thing I said last week. Yep. And it's very, very true, Jerry, so believe it. And whatever he tells you in the future, that'll be true too. Not making it up. No, it's all, that's dead right. It's no making up in this business, and that's nearly about all. Well, of course, Annie and Carla and Lloyd have another big party this week. Always parties. They have birthday parties for 18 months. They have an 18-month birthday. 18 months a year. 18 months, not yearly. And a 4 months. She just, little Mia, that's Annie's niece. Yeah. She had a birthday, 6 months birthday. Oh, 6 month birthday. Lloyd makes cakes all the time. She loves them. Don't eat too many cakes. She hated you too, Lloyd, because she's a little darling. She's over the house. Oh, fair enough. But apart from that, Colin Sutcliffe, that's all we got for this grand final coverage of the NPL, which is one of probably the worst games I've seen in this competition in the last 20 years. Just a quick mention, who won the best and fairest in Chelsea? Toddy Gardner. As you predicted through the Barry Peatling Award. Well, I predicted what he won. Apparently he only won by 10 votes or something. I said, look, what game would you... He had about 8 or 9 best and fairest. Best on the ground. Best on grounds, yeah. I think he had 10 with me, didn't he? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, that's been done and buried, and now we're just looking forward to next year, Mr. Chelsea supporters, and because it will be something to look forward to. Now, Colin? It is. It is. It is very good. I'm looking forward to it too. So that's
goodbye for me.
And goodbye for me.
Bye bye.